know, and I know it's got the name of the game wrong at the bottom. I'm just changing that right now. I noticed that just before I went live. I've just changed it. But yes, if you're in the chat and you can hear me and you can see me, please let me know if everything is okay. I'm going to be bringing you tutorial number 1 tonight of Agemonia. This is the third one that I've done this weekend, but a lot of you will be watching this for the first time. So Agemonia is a new game which is currently in development. It's going live on Kickstarter early next year, January, I believe. It is a fantasy-based, cooperative, narrative-driven game where 2 to 4 players will take on characters that will take part in a grand epic storyline, advance their characters, that kind of thing. All looks and sounds good. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mark. I've done my hair just for you. Right, so we got 4 players tonight. So if you joined in either of the streams yesterday, they were both 2-player games. Today is going to be a first 4-player game. Today is going to be a 4-player game, and it's the first 4-player game that I've actually done myself. But everybody's agreed to be on their best behaviour. So let me go over to Discord right now and say hello to Mr. Jeremy Howard.
Good morning. Hey, party people. Yeah.
Now, you said you've been up since... Did you even go to bed?
No, I did go to bed. I actually did go to bed. I woke up at 7 a.m. To try out some games, and I ended up playing through Hama's entire roster.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm really excited to be here, try something different.
Yes.
And move into some heavier games during the game. So I'm excited for some co-ops. Always looking for new stuff.
Now, you say something different, but I know you're a big Too Many Bones fan.
That is so true.
So fantasy-based, cooperative, character progression type games is kind of your thing?
Yeah, it's always the move for me, man. Like, if I can get some more of these to my table, big or small, you know, I'm looking at it. I'm feeling this compact look right now, though. So
yeah,
cool. I like to have my variety in these types of games.
Yeah, excellent. We also have Nick with us today. Say hello, Nick.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
That's weird.
Time zones and stuff.
Don't exist.
Yeah. So introduce yourself to people, Nick.
I'm Nick. I run Board Deck and Dice, and I also do various other things, like currently freelance for Zatu, which is a retailer in the UK, and run Board Game Exposure. When I say run, I kind of potter around under Martin. So yeah.
Cool. Right, and we also have Jonathan and Will from Roll for Crit.
Hello. Thank you for having us. Yeah, we are from Roll for Crit YouTube channel, board games, reviews, all that kind of good stuff. The usual things. You can find us out there, and it's the afternoon for us. So
it's the afternoon for you, yes.
very, very excited. We're excited to play. At least I am.
There we go. Now, had any of you heard anything about this game until we reached out to you to get you to play?
For me, no, because I rarely go into things blind, and I decided when I heard about this, when I was asked to do zero research. This is very rare. This is rare territory.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't think I don't recall anything beforehand, but same idea. Just excited to go in and learn while playing instead of reading everything in advance.
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be doing tutorial 1. The game is going to come with 3 tutorials, each of which will be progressively more complex and more difficult. By the end of the 3 tutorials, you will know all of the rules of how to play. But you don't then just throw away the tutorials and start playing the campaign. This is actually the start of the campaign. So the characters that you choose, that you go through the 3 tutorials with, the decisions you make at this point is actually going to matter for the campaign. But what's happening is that these 3 tutorials are self-contained scenarios. As I said, there is a storyline link between them. And each one of them is going to come with a book. We have here tutorial 1 rulebook that is going to take you step by step through learning how to play. Now, another very popular game has done this very recently. They already had the idea to do this with Agemonia. And then when we started working on it and then Jaws of the Lion came out, it was like, oh yeah, it's pretty much the same as that. Now, because I'm here with you today, I mean, I could just literally go for a sleep now and leave you with the rule book, but I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to take part in the rule book, and we're going to be teaching the rules as we go along, so you don't need to know anything beforehand. All I will say is that this is a cooperative game. You need to be working together. and it's based in a fantasy world. Apart from that, I'm going to now start reading the introduction of this particular scenario. The city of Ambergate stands on dozens of small islands, connected by canals and bridges. One such island holds the Shimmering Squid Inn, where you are staying. One evening, you are standing on the balcony overlooking the magnificent gate from which the city gets its name, a doorway into nowhere. A few weeks ago, the runes decorating the gate lit up with an eerie blue radiance. People have come from far and wide to witness this phenomenon, just as you admire it from your balcony. Just then, the gate starts to crackle with azure energy and water starts to pour in through it. The canals overflow and the islands closest to the gate are completely submerged. Cries of panic and the ringing of bells fills the air. You rush downstairs into the common room where the water is already knee deep. The innkeeper, the barmaid and the customers all look desperately in need of help as the water pours in through the door and the windows. To help them, you will need to act quickly. So what I'd like you all to do is to place your hero miniatures on the stairs in the bottom left of the map here. Now, these characters are slightly asymmetric. As the campaign goes on and your characters progress, the characters will become more different. But for this scenario, they are roughly the same. Okay, so the game is played in a series of rounds. This scenario, in a 4-player game, we need to remove 2 of these fate cards. Okay, and you'll notice there are 5 of them left. There are 5 rounds in this game. Okay, now after 5 rounds, the scenario will end. If you run out of time, you haven't failed. Okay, so the idea of this scenario is for you to do as much as you can in 5 rounds. But after 5 rounds, what's going to happen is the floodwaters will have risen, and then you have to swim to safety, and that's when the scenario ends. Sorry, Phil is saying 4 rounds with 4 players. Okay, thank you, Phil. I thought it was 5. 4 rounds. Okay, so you've only got 4 rounds to do this in.
Uh-oh.
In each round consists of 3 phases. The first phase is each of you will choose an action. Now, I'm just going to zoom in on Yellow's player board here. When you get to play the full game, there are 4 actions available to you. In this tutorial, we only have 2. We have the extra maneuver and we have enhance ability. And the recommendation is for round 1 of the game that you all choose the extra maneuver action. So you do that and it's already in position, but you have an action marker and you put that on there to say, I'm doing that action. Now it is a cooperative game. So you would normally, talk between yourselves about what you're planning to do and work together. So we'll assume that you've all done that for round 1. The next phase of the round is where each of you will take a turn. And this is done in initiative order. And the initiative card is in the top right of the board. Now for this scenario, the initiative is fixed. It's red, then blue, then green. In other scenarios, this will actually be a deck of cards. And you will reveal a card and it might be slightly different. But for this scenario, we have anybody on red, then blue, then green. And the colour is next to the action marker. So I can see
I believe that's me over here.
Yeah. So yeah, Jonathan, I think you're on red. Then we have Nick, you're on green.
Yep. Save the best till last.
Yep. And then we have Jeremy and Will, you're on blue. Okay, so we're going to go with red first. Right, okay. So it's your turn. So on your turn, you do 1 maneuver and 1 action in any order. Okay? However, because the action that you've chosen is extra maneuver, that basically means you're going to be doing 2 maneuvers. Okay?
Okay, makes sense.
The maneuvers are printed on the right-hand side of your board here. And the only 2 that we're interested in at the moment are the top one, which is walk, and then the next one, which is run. Now, the difference between them is run will give you extra movement points, but you'll notice the little disc to the left of it. That means to use that maneuver will cost you 1 vitae. Your vitae is this big pile of chips here. Your character has 7. So if you wanted to run, you would basically spend 1 of them, and then you would get to move 3. So which of those 2 maneuvers would you like to do, walk or run?
Oh man, I mean, let's start running.
Okay, so you spend a vitae.
You're right.
Right?
Not wasting any time here.
You have 3 movement points, so where would you like to move first?
Okay, so I assume each one of these separated by lines is a space.
Yes, that's it. A white line, you can move over it. A red line, you cannot move over it.
Got it.
Red is
All right.
blocking line of sight.
Yeah, red is blocked.
All right.
But red is blocking line of sight.
No, they don't block line of sight.
Okay.
He's just trying to get away from us as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I know
out
who
of
the
here.
traitor is.
Claim all the glory.
Could I go? Let's see. I mean, I'll just start moving if I went.
You can.
One.
Right. No. Wait, something happens.
No. Oh, something happens right away.
Something
all
happens.
Right.
So when you get to here, this is one of the core mechanisms of the game, and I think it's what makes this game quite different, is story points. So you'll notice on the map we have these story points. They consist of a letter and a number. The letter indicates the card in the story deck, and the number indicates the range at which you draw that card. So you'll notice here it says H0. You would have had to move into this space in order to draw card H. Because you've gone here, you are in range of this story card. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get story card D from the deck.
I see.
And I'm going to read it. So this is the mysterious stranger. A distraught, one-eyed Ignisaur is rushing to her room where a strange-looking device awaits. You have seen her here in the inn and have overheard her introducing herself as a silk merchant. Ignisaurs are not a common sight in Ambergate, and silk merchants have no such use for devices. Now, if you notice at the bottom of this card, it gives you the option to approach her, but on the left-hand side, that's a 0. So, in other words, you have to be in the same space as her in order to be able to flip this card over.
Okay.
Okay.
If I were to go there and do that, would I still have my 1 movement point left?
Absolutely. So unless it says that it's an action or a maneuver, you can flip the card over in the middle of your movement. So you could go there for your second movement point, flip this card over, and then see what happens.
All right. Sounds good to me. Let's meet this mysterious stranger.
Right. So we'll flip the card over. Venerate the sun, she says in relief, and addresses you by your name. It is you. Please help me. I left some valuable manuscripts in Birdie in yonder stable. Would you save them for me before they get wet? You have seen her in the inn, but have never spoken to her before. How does she recognize you? Please, there is no time for that. I have the means for escape, but you must assist me.
Huh.
There we go.
All right, so that's
Ignore her.
Keep that in mind for now, I guess.
Yep.
And let's see. Now, I assume if I move into this little room, that's a dead end. I'd have to just back out of there.
There is nothing there, and because there's no story point there, there's no need to go there.
Safely, don't worry about that.
I mean, you can look at the nice artwork on the bed. There might be something under the bed. Who knows? No.
Yeah, it looks nice. So I guess I'll just move into this one right here.
Yeah. So that's your first maneuver over. Okay. So now it's your next maneuver, and again, you choose whether you want to walk or run.
Right. Well, I guess this time I will walk.
Okay.
And it looks like we could head towards this story point right here.
So as soon as you go here, we're actually going to trigger both of these story points.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and the reason for that is
I'm clearing out this board.
The range of a story point is based on the shortest distance, and that can go through red lines. Okay. So the first one I'm going to reveal is I'm going to actually reveal C first. Okay, so C is Stella's Grick needs saving. The innkeeper's stepdaughter, Stella, has a pet Grick called Fungus. Fungus is caught in the cellar and in danger of drowning. To help her, you either have to grab the Grick or convince it to jump into your lap. And again, this card, you can do something with this card, but you have to be on the space where Stella is, which is here. Okay? And then I'm going to reveal card B.
Is there, like, do you always reveal from a lower letter, or is that just deciding?
I don't think it matters in this case. I just chose to reveal them in this order just for the story. So B is a dangling chandelier. You cannot jump over the high bar, but above it hangs a chandelier. The light of the candles glimmers in the flowing water. An athlete might be able to jump up from the water, grab the chandelier, and swing their way forward. Now, because you are within one of this card, we can flip it over.
Let's do it.
Right, so here we go. If you are within range 1 of the bar, which you are, you may spend a movement point to do an agility check. If you succeed, you can then move to any area adjacent to the bar.
That's just lovely.
Right, now.
Just a tad risky.
So
this is just me on that artwork, I think.
This is one of the other key concepts of the game, which during the playtesting, we actually had a hard time in getting across to people. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shout it at you, and hopefully you'll hear it.
Ready to be shouted at.
Okay,
All right,
so this card gives you the option of doing what's called an ability test. And the most important rule, an ability check. The most important rule about ability checks is unless it says otherwise, it is not an action to do so. So anytime a card has a test on it, the amount of people that say, is it an action to do the test? And it's like, no, right? So if you see a card with a check on it, it's not an action, it's not a maneuver, you can literally just do it.
Okay, cool.
In this case, though, you have to spend a movement point in order to do it.
Right. Well, I do have one left, so I might as well do it.
Okay, so let's explain how ability checks work. There are three abilities that you've got. You've got might, you've got agility, and you have will. Your character is pretty good at agility.
Oh, good.
You've got 3. So what that means is you roll 3 dice. You roll your dice.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so this is 1 success. This is 2 successes. And this is no successes, but you can buy 1 or 2 successes by spending vitae. 1 for 1, 2 for 2. In this case, you only needed a 3, and you rolled 3, so you've done it. You've succeeded. Okay, cool. So you can now move to any area adjacent to the area containing B. So basically, you've jumped up, you can swing across the chandelier, and you can land in any area you want to.
I mean, I guess I'll swing over to this side. It seems like that's place to head. Yeah.
Can I just stay on the chandelier? Just keep swinging
swinging backwards and forwards. Yeah.
Roll straight check, please.
Okay, now remember what I said about ability checks.
Right. Oh man, we're making all kinds of progress here. So, I can attempt to rescue Fungus the Grick. Now, is there any downside to failing other than just not accomplishing?
Not on this one. Future scenarios will have penalties for failure, but not in this case.
All right, so I might as well give it a shot. So it looks like I can choose if I want to use one of those 2 abilities.
Yep, you can choose either agility or will.
I guess I'll go agility again since that's what I'm good at. So let's see if we can do it.
Ooh, so 2 successes. So if you wanted to succeed, you would have to buy 3 additional successes, which would cost you 3 vitae. Your character's quite weak in vitae.
You can buy more than, like, each one buys you 2, or?
Each one buys you up to 2, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it worth it? Should I ask you for your professional opinion, or should I?
No, professional opinion is $20. So, yeah, afraid not.
Nominal fee.
I'd go back for the one-eyed lass rather than something called Grick or called Fungus.
I'd say you go for it. There's 3 other players.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
All right, let's try. All right, so
I've got some fungus on my toenail you can rescue.
3.
Okay, we're going to flip the card over. So this is Fungus the Grick. You take Fungus the Grick in your arms and pet it gently. It is wet and miserable, but safe. Meanwhile, Stella has run to the stairs. She waves at you and yells, "Oh, thank you. May the stars shine upon you, kind saviour. Please bring him to me." Okay, so a couple of things. You've got this card. Now, in order to actually save Fungus the Grick, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get to an area on the board that has the treasure chest icon. Okay? That will allow you to then store that card and you put it here in the salvage pile. And that means you've saved it. The other impact of having a card under your player board here means you cannot use the bar acrobatics. Okay?
Okay.
So there we go, you're done. Now, your turn took quite a long time because we've explained 80% of the rules of the game in your turn. So
got it covered for you.
Right, okay, so now we're going to go with Nick, who is playing Thorax, who lumbers around like a big, heavy giant.
Oh, I'm green, I think, aren't I? I'm the other 2, I think, activate for me. I'm green.
Yeah.
Blues.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, green is last. Right, okay. So if 2 characters go on the same initiative, it is up to you to decide between yourselves who goes first. If you cannot decide, you'll notice that your characters have a taunt value. And you will go in taunt value order from highest to lowest, but that's only if you can't decide.
I'm willing to go third.
Okay. So I'll move 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So your first action was to run.
Yeah, my first action was to run.
Okay, so that cost you 2 vitae.
All right, and then I'll walk, which is going to give me 2 movement. That's 1. This is 2, and now I'm within 1 spot of this here.
Yep. Okay, so we're interrupting your movement to reveal card A. Here we go. I'm going to put the bar acrobatics here. Right, so this is a chest-carrying clergyman. You see a priest of the 5th eye carrying a heavy chest marked with exquisite signs. The chest seems too heavy for the elderly Nihtegri man, but he is desperately trying to keep it above water. He refuses help, saying he has vowed before the 5th eye to take care of it alone. So if you are on his space, you can try and convince him with a difficulty 5 will check.
I'll just jump right in there with my last movement.
Okay.
And, here we go. Give it a run. Here we go.
So your will is...
I only roll successes. 1, 2, 3. Action pack rolls.
Oh, just short.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
4 successes.
So when the so for the actual settings for my guy, when it says 3, it's not added. Successes are not added to my stat.
No, that's the number of dice that you roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So why didn't I get a success? Let's see.
So
here.
that's 1 success.
There we go, right there, 5.
I don't think that's in the rules of the game.
Only a demo. Only a demo.
So you went 1, 2, 3, and then you went 1, 2. Okay. So now we have Lunara.
Well, I think running seems to be all the rage.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with that. Oh, wait a minute. I think my character actually somehow is in that inn.
Yeah, we've got them the wrong way around. There we go.
All right, so 1.
No, hang on.
Oh.
Finally, somebody's gone here. Everybody was completely ignoring the innkeeper at the bottom of the stairs. Right, okay, so this is the innkeeper. In the common room, the innkeeper is directing customers upstairs. The stout Corallian heartily welcomed you yestereve, but he's now clearly fighting off the panic. So if you want to offer him help, we can flip this card over.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. Are you certain you can face the current? As Bakura is my witness, I want no harm to come to you. He looks you up and down, appraising you from head to toe. In fact, perhaps you could help with the bridge. I fear it will collapse, and then the escape route will be cut off for many townsfolk. Work hard, and may the Creator's success flow down on all of us. There are others also in need of your help, such as the silk merchant and the barmaid, although the barmaid is no longer in need of help. And who knows who else is still inside the rooms. Just then, a gush of the waves sends more water and debris in through the open door. You must hurry. Okay.
Oh, man. Find out what's happening out here.
Oh, I didn't even realize you could go out there. Wow.
Yeah. So as soon as you go out
everything
here...
in here. What? You just want me to sit at a table and wait?
So, card L. Right. This is a blocked street. The street outside the inn has been blocked by a broken gondola carried by the flood. An escaping Patangan family with many 4-armed children is stuck on the other side. The strong current keeps the gondola in place. The Patangan mother looks at you with desperation in her reptilian eyes. So you can go to that space and do a might check to try and lift the gondola.
I mean, I got to help them out, right?
Well, 4-armed children.
You've only got 2 strength, though. What's the biggest success you can have?
It's 2.
So you'd need to get by 1, wouldn't you? You need 4.
Or there's like exploding dice, I think. It looks like
there is, yeah.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
It is possible, yeah.
Why not? Let's do it.
So your first action was to run.
Run, and then
you went 1,
walk.
2, 3.
I think that's right?
Sorry, your first maneuver was to run, and now your second maneuver is to walk.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so you can now do this test for free if you want to. So
I shall.
Give it a go.
Mm.
Okay, 2 successes. Yeah, you're trying to lift the gondola out of the way, but it's too heavy. Okay.
It's so heavy.
Right, and now finally, slow coach at the back.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run a few spaces and do nothing.
Yeah, so you have to spend 1 vitae to run, and your run is only 2 spaces.
Yeah, I think I'm going to come out here and get ready to either help with one of these things.
Yeah.
And so I'll go.
Oh wait, what is your
2? I've got 3 dice. To
oh,
roll.
maybe I should have left that for you. My bad.
Well, I wouldn't have got there anyway because I'm quite slow.
Okay, so I'm going to reveal the card for the bridge. This one. Okay, the flowing waters and the floating debris have damaged the bridge, and it is in danger of collapsing into the canal. Clear the bridge would require strength, and to remove the debris from the supporting beams takes dexterity. To direct the fleeing citizens to help would demand leadership. Fortunately, you are in a position to help. So we can flip this card over because you are on that space. Here we go. You have 3 ways of helping them out. You can either do a might test, an agility check, or a will check.
Well, I will be doing my might because I've got 3 dice.
Okay, so you roll your 3 dice.
Oh. There we go.
Okay, so 2 successes, and you can buy more successes if you want to.
One of these. Yeah. Oh, not that many.
All of them.
Just gonna throw that whole bridge in the water.
Yeah.
I'm all in. I'm stood up and everything.
Threw it on the ground.
Okay. Yeah.
So, is that it? Is that all of your? You need one more, I think.
Did I get 2 successes for 1? Is it?
It's 1 for 1. So you needed an extra 2 successes, so it's an extra 1.
I am all in again.
And to mark that you've succeeded, what we do is we put an X marker on here. But note, you can actually do this multiple times, just once per round. Okay?
Okay.
That's the end of the round. Everybody's taken their turn. So what we do is we discard a fate card. And now we go to round 2. At this point, you can select whichever action you want to do. The other action that we haven't mentioned is enhance ability. And what that does, as you can probably work out, it increases all of your abilities by 1 for the whole round.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so is it back to me again, or is there any like in between phase?
I guess we need to decide first.
Oh, we can discuss it. Oh, right.
Yeah, so we are currently in.
Torx, are you gonna stay at the bridge, or do you want to come over here since you're the straight guy?
Yeah, I can run down there. I'll stay on movement and run down there because there's no point in me doing anything more on the bridge. There is something in the stables for the one-eyed girl, but
I'll head over there then.
Wants to run over.
Yeah, we'll pass over.
Get her number.
So I'll stay on movement.
I'm just gonna see if I can pass this test. If I can get 4 dice, then I think I'm better off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be running. I got nothing to do but carry this Grick home. So
just throw it.
Yeah.
Right. Has everybody chosen an action?
And it's good.
Right. So is anybody on red initiative?
That's yes, me is now still.
Yeah. Off we go then.
Oh, I see. So that's how turn order could change every time. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think pretty much do the same thing. I will spend 1 to run.
Yep.
In the opposite direction this time. So 1, 2, 3, and then I can't quite make it back, but I'll just go another 2 back here.
You could.
Oh, I could? Could I?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, can I? Oh, I could run again by spending another. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, sure. Then let's do that.
Okay. So you're back on the stairs, and what you can do is take this card and just pop it into the salvage pile.
All right.
So that is saved.
I've noticed we're divided by how people keep their used chips either in a neat stack or just
I think it's very telling. Right, so that's red done. The next is blue. Anybody on blue?
Once again, we have a tie.
Okay, so again, it's up to you.
My turn's going to be boring, so you go ahead.
All right, let me give this run a go. I have to hit 5.
You need 5 successes. I believe in you, Jeremy.
The split. You don't have to do that. I got this. Yo. I got it. There it is.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the exploding die. So this is a success, and you get to roll an extra dice as well.
Ooh. Oh, whoops.
It's 4 successes.
Big one.
Okay, if you spend 1, that counts as a success.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we flip this over. You convince the priest that the fifth eye will not be pleased if the chest and its contents get wet. He sighs in relief as you take the heavy object from his hands. The chest emits a high-pitched hum, which seems oddly out of place compared to the heavy, low sloshing of the water. So this is your card. Again, in order to actually save it, you're going to need to get it to a rescue point.
Yeah, you may move this card to a hero in the same area. Okay, so where's that icon that identifies? I can't see it on here.
It's here.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you've not had your maneuver yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I need to spend 2 of these.
You want to run? Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So just a quick note at this point, you'll notice some of these spaces have dots on. These dots indicate how many characters you can have in an area. Now, in this scenario, you've kind of all split up and run around, which is fine. But obviously, when we go to scenario 2, which we're not going to do today, but when you do, and there's going to be some close quarters combat involved, that's where these dots come in. Yeah, they're really important for tactical moving around.
And that include enemies?
It does include enemies as well, yes. Yeah. Right. Cool. So, Lunara, are you...
All right. So I'm going to do a walk. So
now, before you do that...
Oh.
Remember what I said about ability checks?
Oh, right. They're free, so there's no reason for me not to do it.
Yeah, you get it. You can do it for free.
I was just so used to, I'm not going to pass it.
Yep.
But, all right. I mean, why not? We'll see what happens.
Not quite. Not quite.
And then I just look at her and I'm like, someone else will help. I'm just gonna
I've embarrassed myself too much.
No, that sounds like my D&D.
Am I exhausted if I run out of these?
So Vitae, no, you can still carry on doing other stuff. And the third maneuver, which might possibly come in tonight, is basically to meditate, which gets you back a certain number of Vitae.
Okay.
I'm gonna. So the next walk I do, can I go here, stop, do the bridge, then continue?
Absolutely, yes. Just be aware. Better. Yeah. Oh no, it's free. Yeah, it's fine.
All right. I think I can get 4.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to get the people
lead
in order.
the people.
Yeah.
Because I'm good at willpower. That's 4.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah.
Get another marker on there. So the rules for this card is 1 marker per round, not 1 marker per character.
So we're good this round.
Yeah. Okay. That's been done.
Okay.
And then I move 1 more space.
Yep. So you're done.
And I'm going to have to be right in there, so I need to do 1 run and 1 normal.
Yep.
Costing
you want
just 1. I did 1, not all of them. Yay! Neat pile. And then I'm rolling 3 dice for 4 successes, hopefully.
I believe in you, I shout from all the way across the bridge.
Well, it might be misplaced because I'm struggling to select more than 1 die, but there we go.
Okay, so that's 3 successes
and a reroll
and an extra dice.
Thank you. Yes.
4 successes. Yay. That is enough. So we flip this card over.
That's how you lift the boat.
There you go.
Well, that's actually you there, right?
Yeah, look at the picture.
Yeah, it was destiny. I wasn't allowed to.
Prophecy fulfilled. I win.
Okay, so straining your muscles to the extreme, you manage to move the gondola aside. Unlike Lunara, who's completely useless at lifting boats. I've just had it. The relieved families can escape the flood. May the stars shine upon you, many of them say in Nitigri fashion. The Patangan children deftly climb over the remaining debris while their mother turns to you, forming a complex symbol with her 4 claws. I thank the spirits, and I thank you. So this card is going in the salvage pile, and we have another story card to reveal.
What fashion was it said in again, Paul? I just enjoyed your pronunciation.
Okay, I've been learning. Okay, so we have a little boat. While moving the gondola, you notice a small boat stuck behind it. It bobs precariously on the waves, but does not turn over. A small push might allow you to move it to a place where it could hold your salvage. Okay, so we have a new thing here. everything that you've done so far on cards has been free. You haven't had to use an action or a maneuver to do it. This one, if you want to do this, if you want to move the boat, it will cost you a maneuver. Okay? Right. Which you can't do this turn because you've used both of your maneuvers. And I think that's the end of the round.
Yes.
So, one fate card has gone. We move to round 3, phase 1.
And we've only got
choose your
rounds,
action.
haven't we? Because they're the player count.
Now, just a quick note from something Jeremy said earlier on. You said, are you exhausted when you run out of Vitae? So no, you're not, and you can carry on playing the game. However, I always like to keep a couple of Vitae back when you're doing an ability check, in case you roll the result that means you've got to spend Vitae. Yeah? There's nothing worse missing by 1, and then you're not having the Vitae to get that success that you need.
Got it. Well, I think I'm heading over to that bridge and going to join the party on the other side with everyone else now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick with extra maneuver.
I
think, considering we only have 2 rounds left, is that right? 2 rounds?
Oh,
2 rounds left. Including this one.
Movement, see if I can run in here.
It's a little scary.
I'll try and grab the boat on my turn. The little boat. Oh.
All right. So are we all in place?
We all done? Okay, right. Initiatives. I think it's red first again. Yep.
I think it stays the same.
So just a quick note. The initiative orders, red is always faster than blue, and blue is always faster than green. So you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, Paul. I thought you said this was going to be a deck of cards where it might change. It's basically the monsters. Okay, so it's always red, blue, green for the characters, but you never quite know where the monsters are going to be. Okay, sometimes the monsters will go before you, sometimes they'll go after you, and there are no monsters in this scenario, which is why it's the same initiative card.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't think I will run this time. I'm just going to walk twice and just get to this bridge.
Yep.
And then I will use my agility to attempt that test.
Okay.
So I need a 3rd die. Here we go. Thank you. All right. Let's see what we got.
So that's
beautiful.
4 successes.
Don't got to spend anything. And there's
Boom.
next.
Right. Easy.
I'm so happy there's no blanks on these dice, otherwise I'd be constantly rolling
well,
dice.
this is the thing. Most games like this have a blank on the dice, right? There's a deliberate design decision in this game that there are no failures, right? Every dice will be a success unless it's the one that you need to spend Vitae for. So, which I really like. As a more of a Euro gamer rather than a dice person, I really like that.
It is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's red. We're on blue, which I think is... Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2 to drop this off and take that.
With a walk, yep. So we can put the chest over here.
Whew, saved it.
And your second maneuver?
And then I'm going to... Let's see here. What's my... I got 3 of those. All right, so I'll do 1, 2...
Yep.
Which needs to be here.
Okay.
And then, I'm going to go ahead and meditate since I have that one.
Well, that would be a maneuver. And you've done your 2 maneuvers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done 2 maneuvers. Extra maneuver. Extra, yeah.
So your first one was move, and your second one was move as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. The difference between the actions and the maneuvers, obviously it's slightly different because you've chosen the extra maneuver, is the action must be decided at the start of the round, whereas the maneuver, you only decide what you're doing at that moment where you're actually doing it. So.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay. Next up is Lunara.
I'm going to start by paying 2, so I can start running.
Okay, where are you going to go?
I actually am going to go... Oh, wait. Oh, that's all one space. Yeah,
Look at the back alley. I like this.
So, 1 to there. So we're going to reveal this card. So this is story card E, which is this. So this is a maintenance hatch. There is a low entrance to the stable meant for delivering hay. Like everything else, it is overflowing with water and debris. If you are on the same space as this, you can take a closer look.
Yeah, let's check it out. That looks, I mean, that's actually opened on the picture. So.
Yeah. The overflowing maintenance hatch is meant for objects, but a careful person might be able to use it to wriggle through. So you can spend a movement point to do an agility check of 2, and if you succeed, you move from here to here.
I will spend my last movement point trying to do so.
Yeah.
You can be careful.
So.
Oh. I'll spend the 2.
Yeah, time is ticking on. So you move to the other side, and we reveal story card F. Okay, so the flooded stable. You enter the watery stable full of wet hay and animal screams. In the back, you see what is clearly the Ignisor's birdie, a wagon with mechanical wings. And because you are now on the space, we can flip it over. Looking around, you realise this place has not always been a stable. It was once a temple of a pagan goddess before Benham became a secular republic. For generations, it has been used for keeping animals, but now there is only one togrel in the far pen, and the flood is making it panic. Okay, so that was your first manoeuvre. You have an extra manoeuvre.
I do. I will do walking.
Yep. So first you go to there, and we reveal card K. I'll just put here for now. So this is the Sacred Beast. A distressed togrel is rearing in its pen. It is stuck in ropes and clearly scared of the rising waters. As it sees you, it kicks at the stable's support beams, causing the whole building to shake. This just makes it more scared, and it lets out a disturbing shriek. So if you are on the same space as it, you can do a will check of difficulty 4 to try and calm the beast.
Let's do it.
Off you go.
It's like a Sasquatch.
And if you fail, your character gets ripped into 1,000 pieces. No, I'm going off script again.
That doesn't say that on the card, Paul.
No.
All
Only
right.
1,000.
I get another die, so I might not have to pay.
Oh yeah.
There you go. There's the 4. Flipped
Nice.
over. Okay.
Yeah, look at him. He has a sensitive side. Here we go.
You place your hand on the togrel's jaw and make soothing noises. It responds to your calming tone and relaxes enough for you to untangle it from the ropes. It shakes itself a bit and looks at you gratefully. So we put this card on the salvage pile.
All right.
I helped.
I think you're done.
I believe so.
Right. Okay. So finally, Thorax. Are you going to spend your maneuver to move the boat? Nick's on mute. There you go. Okay, so do you want to spend your maneuver, Nick?
I think he's muted again.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong with Nick's audio?
There we go.
Sorted?
It's lost at sea.
I was just multiple belches were happening. That's all.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, I would like to move the boat.
Okay, so obviously, Tabletop Simulator allows us to do some clever scripting, but this is going to show off quite a cool part of the game. If you want to just click on the little overlay button.
Oh, he's let me click the button. Hang on.
Ooh.
I expect this in the physical version.
Whoa!
There you go. So yeah, one of the things which happens in this game is as the narrative develops, cards will be flipped over and placed over the board in order to change certain parts of the map. Now, have a look what that is. You've got a salvage point here. Okay.
Great.
So, is it still just one pile, or do we now need to move everything in the one pile to the boat?
So this salvage pile represents everything that you have saved, which can either be there or there.
Okay.
Because magic.
So that was your first maneuver. You now have an extra maneuver.
Well, I don't think I'm much help with my power of walking.
Power of slowness.
I will run a bit closer to the boat just in case something surprising happens that I can.
And then that is the end of the round. So we move into the final round of the game. Phase 1. Everybody choose your actions.
Oh, I'm still going to try and book it.
Yeah, I'm going to maneuver just in case I'm needed anywhere with my big muscles and tiny brain.
Yeah, I guess I might as well stick with that.
So the only thing is whether we get these ones up here. There's 3 more, isn't there, up on these stables?
Well, there's actually only 2 more.
2 more.
This is the same.
M
Yeah.
and G. Yeah.
And there's also the bridge. Getting another.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, see how
I'm
it goes.
assuming having lots of success
Paul?
on the bridge.
Right.
Yeah, good.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Is there something? What is this right here? This purplish.
Candy floss.
Yeah, candy. Yeah, definitely. No, I think it's a tree.
Okay.
It's like the Lorax in there.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm first again. I believe I'm the only one with a red thing.
Yep. Super fast.
Very, very quick. Very quick. So I might as well do helping out to start, right?
Yeah.
Some debris.
So let's see. We'll do dexterity again and see if
Yep.
I can help out. What do I need? 4? Well, I don't think it's worth it for me to spend for that.
Okay.
Right, because one of you guys will take care of it. So I tried. And then I will go ahead and I guess I will just walk for my first one.
Yeah.
Why not? And I'll go
Okay, so
here.
when you get to here, we reveal card M.
Okay, let's see what we're looking at.
M is the door to the stable. The door to the stables is locked and will not open. At least it is slightly slowing the ingress of flood water. You can look closer at the door if you are on the same space as it.
Okay, then I will. I guess I will walk again, and I will go up and I will look at that door.
So, there is a hole high in the door. Old pagan temples used to have hatches like that for making small sacrifices to the goddesses. Nowadays, the hole is probably meant for the barmaid's grick to go inside and keep vermin out. Basically, there is now a special rule that you may give a story card from your character to another hero on the opposite side of the door. So characters on opposite sides of the door can swap cards.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
think Yellow's gonna be killed in a collapsing stable.
Well, we'll find out.
Right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next, actually, since I guess I'm in the stable. We'll see what's going on. We'll start with a walk.
Okay.
Actually, how many do I have left? Is that bottom big one? Just one?
No, the bottom one. It looks like you've got 3 left.
All right, then I will walk for now.
Okay, you've moved 2, which means we're going to look at story card G. Yeah. So this is Birdie.
I should have ran.
Yeah. You wallow through the knee-deep water to reach Birdie. The wagon has wings of wood and fabric and a complex mechanism for powering and operating them. Inside rests plenty of cargo. You do not see any scrolls lying about, but if you wanted to search the wagon, it would cost you a maneuver.
I mean, why not?
Okay. You go through flasks and blankets, well-used musical instruments, candles, spare clothes, totems and other objects, some common and others strange, until you come across a sack containing scrolls. While the sack may keep the rain out, it will not protect them from the flood. So this is your card. You've got this. If only you can get it to safety before the end of the game.
Uh-oh.
Rats. Okay, Jeremy.
I gotta catch up. So I am gonna. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do the extra maneuver. I'm gonna go run it in here. 1, 2.
On your way past, you might as well have a free attempt at helping out the bridge.
Yep. All right, so what am I rolling? Let's see. I would do my best check, which would be my mind. All right, let's see it. Do I have success on my brain? Oh,
You could.
You could. The last turn of the game.
big rolls, baby.
Well, no,
Yeah.
that was
No.
that. So that means you can spend up to 2 vitae to get up to 2 successes.
Okay.
So spend 2, that gets you another counter.
good.
There you
Okay.
go. Right,
We
and
flipped it.
then it is Torax to finish off. If there's anything Torax can do, I don't think there is.
I can't put them there. I might just I'll take the action. Bask in the glory of your little boat.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Right, so the last fate card is done. Time has run out. And what I'm now going to do is read the conclusion, which I think is on page 12. Let's go through. Here it is, conclusions. Right. Oh no, I went too far. Here we go. The floodwaters get so high that retreating to the upper floor of the Shimmering Squid is the only option left for you. Eventually, even that is flooded, and you are forced to climb onto the roof. You see people trying to swim to safety or using doors and tables as makeshift rafts. You spend your time helping others, but the truth is that you are also in need of help. So, we're going to go through all of the story cards in your salvage pile. Did you rescue Fungus the Grick? I believe you did.
Sure did.
So, the barmaid Stella is petting her Grick, both clearly bringing comfort to each other. She has precious little on her, but as a token of her gratitude, she gives you a rare herb. So, we're going to take the rare herb. Who wants the Star Lotus?
Oh, sounds cool. I mean, I guess I rescued that Grick, so I'll claim it.
Okay.
Straight in on the herbs.
I feel like that's just Grick nip.
I'm going to make a rare brownie with that herb.
Yeah.
So the next one is the Chest of the Fifth Eye. You help the old priest lift the heavy chest onto the roof. He tells you that the Cult of the Fifth Eye collects ancient artifacts and the chest holds one of their most valuable discoveries. May the Fifth Eye watch over you, he says. Priest introduces himself as Arias Karain and writes you a letter of recommendation to be used in Runedale.
Yeah.
So somebody has a letter of recommendation.
Wow.
I think Jeremy's got it.
I make choices.
Yeah. Right, scrolls. You didn't get the scrolls.
That's the party.
Okay. The Togrul. Thinking about the sacred Togrul you saved makes you feel good. Tograls are used as mounts by the local Nitigri, but clearly the mysterious Ignisaur has found this one useful as well. Something tells you that this was not the last you have seen of that magnificent animal. So we actually give Togrul card to the player who rescued it. The scrolls, however...
Yay. I did something.
Story card L. You do have story card L.
Well.
This is the People's Gratitude. In a nearby overcrowded sailboat, you recognise the Patangan family that you helped by clearing the road. The boat sails close enough to the inn's roof for the mother to talk to you. I will sacrifice in front of the totems, she says, and makes the claw symbol again. If only there were room, I would rescue you myself, but perhaps the spirits will bring you good fortune. With that, he hands something over to you over the railing. You get the wooden amulet token from the rewards bag, which is given to a hero of your choice. Somebody gets this.
I think the person who saved the family actually could lift a boat.
And then finally, if you have any X markers on story card J, you do.
Oh, yeah.
As a Corallian, the innkeeper is not too worried about the water, but is very protective of his Nitigri stepdaughter Stella. Most Corallians are born in the underwater cities of the Thelocracy of Zebel and believe in working hard in pursuit of their dreams. To see one of them being a parent to a Nitigri child is very unusual. The innkeeper thanks you for keeping everyone safe and the bridge standing. As a sign of his gratitude, he gives you some coins. The creator's success flows down on you, he says, in the Corallian way. So you get 1 gold for each X marker on the bridge. Okay,
Cool.
So there's 4 gold, which you divide however you want between the characters.
Well, I'd like to say I'll take it all and run away, but being as my speed is really slow.
We're also stuck on a roof, so I don't know how far away we can get.
That's true. Okay.
I guess one apiece is fair.
Yeah. Okay.
We did all right. We split those fairly evenly, didn't we? We all got one stuff.
Yeah. And then the outro. You see ships, boats, gondolas, rafts, flying rickshaws and airships escaping from the epicenter of the disaster. The Gate of Amber, which is still pouring out the contents of some otherworldly ocean, but there is no help for you. Not until a wagon with flapping wings approaches the roof of the inn. It is the one-eyed Ignisaur who recognized you earlier with her Togrul aboard. I thought you could use a ride, she yells, and throws you a rope ladder. You let the innkeeper, Stella, and the priest climb in first and then follow them. The wings are operated with an ancient device which uses a rare Agura crystal for fuel. The Ignisaur lets the others off at a nearby hillside and then continues onwards with you. My name is Shantor Threebirds, and I would have you join me in my journey to Runedale. You have much to discuss as you fly north away from the flooded city, its bells still sounding the alarm behind you. And that's it. That is the end of Tutorial 1.
I'm flicking Jeremy for being a thief. I saw that gold go.
Putting it in my sack. It's all ours. We're going together on a journey.
Yeah. So what
Just
you've
the
seen
pressure.
here is you've seen the core mechanisms of the game. You've seen how you choose an action and then players take turn in initiative order. And on your turn, you do your chosen action plus a maneuver. You've seen how ability checks work. And you've seen how the story points work and how the narrative of a particular scenario can develop. Now, bear in mind, this was a tutorial, okay? It was fairly simple. The story point, the ability check, you couldn't really fail them. If you failed them, you just tried again. But this tutorial is all about just getting you introduced to the game. It takes about an hour. And yeah, it just teaches you the core mechanisms. Tutorial 2 that we're not going to do now, but it is available this weekend if anybody wanted to play Tutorial 2. Will take a bit longer, is a bit more complex, and introduces combat. The monsters appear in Tutorial 2.
Cool. Come on, Paul. Let's play the other one.
Well, I can't run it, but seriously, Jeremy, if you wanted to play Tutorial 2 right now or later on tonight, they are running demos of it. And yeah, I can definitely get you in one of those demos, no problem. So yeah, if any of you wanted to do that, just post on the Discord channel and we can get you in. But what did you think of it? Initial impressions?
Loved it. Lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I thought as well, like having played some of the other similar ones that have been recently coming to backers and things and available at retail. This one, although the tutorials are simple on the other ones, this is the one that I would teach my son, definitely, from the other tutorials. There was just a bit more in terms of the card play that he wouldn't like, whereas this, the stories and the way the cards come out, he would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And that's really appealing. But yeah, I really enjoyed the way the story developed. Yeah,
I mean, this is one thing that I think, similar games in this genre, I play them as well. And I think certainly when I first got a look at this game, the one thing that made it stand out to me is the way that the narrative develops during. It isn't just, here's a story, off you go and fight some monsters. It's, here's a story, and then as you progress through the adventure, depending on where you go, then other narrative elements will be revealed. And that I thought was quite cool. Because I grew up playing D&D in the 80s and the 90s, and a lot of these games like this, these fantasy cooperative games, try and sort of emulate an RPG, but I think this one does it. I can just imagine playing this game with a GM, and it's the GM that's actually, rather than it being card-based, the GM starts reading out the stories as you progress through it. So,
right.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Like, this is like a more of a story development, like narrative. I like that kind of idea. Like, I enter a room, I'm near this point, this is what I see. Versus like just reading one big paragraph and then it's like, all right, defeat monsters, get to the end.
Yeah.
It also feels like it wants you to focus more on the story. With like the dice, for example, not having blink. It's not just like you keep failing at picking up an item or something, and just feel miserable.
Yeah. So, question: how many of you played the fighting fantasy books in the 80s and 90s?
Whoa.
Can't say that I did.
I think I did a couple, yeah.
Okay. Or how many people played very old role-playing games from the 80s and 90s?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so the artwork is a bit of a homage to that. A lot of the fighting fantasy novels, it was all black and white artwork. Now, while that's unusual in modern games coming out right now, because of course we all got full color fancy artwork, when I first saw these cards, that gave me all of that nostalgia feeling from playing those old RPGs back in the day. So yeah, it looks quite cool.
Well, it's nice that it's both. Like, we still have a nice colored board with details and stuff like that. And that, so it does stand out, because I feel like if you went all one way or the other, just be like, oh, this looks like 20 other things.
Yeah.
I also like to see how this develops with these cards coming on the board and changing up the look of it.
Wait till you see tutorials 2 and tutorials 3. There's a lot more of cards that go on the board and everything else.
Because I know that Ether Fields is doing that kind of stuff, but I also like to see it on a lighter, like a lighter experience that, may not be as many and crazy. But I want to see how that, how that works in other games, like straight away, So It'd be good to see this as well and see how it implements that.
Yeah. Just speaking of the artwork for a minute, and this is obviously for you guys, but for anybody who's watching, these player boards here, these are still prototype. Okay, these are quite rough. The board artwork and the card artwork, this is either final or it's near to final. So this is the artwork that the game is going to have. This is the graphic design that the game is going to have. It's still being tweaked along the way, but what you see here is pretty much what it's going to look like. And this is going to be, a book. So it will open out and this will be there. You put it on the board and that is this scenario.
Perfect. I really like all the different crazy creatures and races they introduce, like right off the bat. You're just head first into like, here's a Tongirl and here's a Greg.
Yeah, is it what? Yeah, so as well as the scenarios and obviously the rules, I'm part of this project as well, and I'm working with the designer, and the designer has built an entire world with all of these races, all of these religions, this whole world. There's a map of the world, and the whole campaign is one big storyline. And what you've seen here, you might just think, oh, glowing gate, water coming in, whatever. This is actually the start of the storyline. And what's also quite cool, and you didn't see this today, and I don't know the full details of how this is going to work, but I've been told that each of your characters is more involved in the actual story of what's going on than most other similar games. In other words, your character is also going on their own story, and that will develop and that will affect things as it moves on. So
that's something I like, because I feel like in a lot of these role-playing games, there can be a not a penalty, but it becomes like if everyone designs their own character and you don't have a DM who specifically weaves them in or something, it's sort of like there's nothing specific attaching you to that race. Like there's no reason my character should be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, there's the characters are definitely an integral part of the story. So the bit we didn't see today, well, there was a few bits, but one of the bits we didn't see is combat. So you might think, how does health work in the game? Okay, well, your health is also your Vitae chips, but you flip them over. Okay, so for example, if Lunara has taken 3 points of damage, that means your maximum Vitae is now 6.
Ooh.
Yeah, so your Vitae, your maximum capacity of Vitae will drop as you get damaged. And when you heal, you basically flip these back and you can put them on. So that's, and the combat, although we haven't seen the combat today, it uses the dice in a similar way. And you'll notice on your character board, the top action says unlocks after scenario 1. That is the attack action. So in tutorial 2, your character will now have an extra action that you can do, which is basically attacking. And that's where the characters start to become asymmetric, because the different characters have, different skills. And certainly from the playtesting we did, the Thorax character is a little bit weak in this scenario because he lumbers around and moves slowly. But in the second scenario, Thorax is actually really useful.
Thorax smash!
Yeah. And your characters didn't have any equipment in this scenario as well, because there is equipment as well, and that gives you special abilities.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
But there you go. That's everything. Have you got any other questions?
No, that's what I was gonna. You answered my questions. Just
right.
Yeah. When can we play it again?
So, as I say, you can play Tutorial 2 this weekend. It is available. There are 2 or 3 people from the publisher running demos of Tutorial 2 this weekend. You can play it yourself if you wanted to, because it's going to come with a rule book similar to this, which will take you, it'll basically say, you've already played Tutorial 1, right, well, here's some new rules you need to know for Tutorial 2, and now let's play. So that is available on Tabletop Simulator and Tabletopia this weekend. But as I say, if you wanted somebody to run through it like I've done today, just post on the Discord channel and we can find people who can then run that game for you. Even if you want to do it right after this. If you're around after this, I'm not free, but there will definitely be somebody free to help you do that. And it'll be going to Kickstarter at some point early next year. So yeah, if you're interested in the game, obviously keep an eye out for it on Kickstarter. Yeah, that's everything.
Cool.
Right.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Well, I will say thank you very much to the 4 of you for joining me and giving up your time and trying this game. And enjoy the rest of Essen Spiel Digital, whatever you're doing, whether you're demoing games or playing games or whatever.
Yeah, same to you.
You too.
Yeah. Right. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Right, and we are done. So yeah, thank you very much to everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was interesting to see a 4-player game compared to the 2-player game that I did yesterday. And I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Well, I say same time. The same time if you're in America tomorrow, but for the UK, our clocks go back tonight. So it'll actually, my demo tomorrow is actually happening at 5 o'clock UK time rather than 6 o'clock. And that will be 3 players. I think it's either 3 or 4 tomorrow. I can't remember. But we'll sort that out. It's Polyhedron Collider are joining me tomorrow. So if you want to see how those guys do, I'll be here tomorrow with that. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.